Ladies and gentlemen, as the main aircraft door is now being closed, we kindly ask you to place all electrical items into in-flight mode. If your device does not have an in-flight mode, please switch the device off for the duration of the flight. Thank you.
So good morning to everyone on the live stream. Hello Travelman101 Sim Lounge. Good morning to you both. Good of you to join. We are just setting up for our flight from London Stansted to Zaragoza Airport. So a new airport in Spain which I have not flown to yet. So that's where we're going to head this morning. How are you today, Captain Winton? Doing very well, thank you. To everyone on the live stream, hello Travelman101. I'm just going to share the live stream on Facebook and Twitter, folks, so just bear with me for 1 second. Right, I've just about shared the stream, so we'll get set up in just a moment. Foxy Football, good morning, welcome to the stream. Right, so we just have a little more preparation to do. We're looking to depart at 11:05, so we've got about another 8 minutes before we, actually no, 6 minutes till we push back. Okay, so that's the live stream shared. Let's see, do we have any ATC? Don't have any ATC, so we're okay this morning. Just need to get some more information for the flight. For some unknown reason, our company aircraft, I presume he doesn't have scenery, seems to be ingrained in the terminal. So that's, I've heard of getting your passengers straight to the terminal, but that's taking it perhaps a little too far. And the wind in Stansted, 180 degrees, 10 knots, and the sun is out this morning, which is nice to see. 180, V1, 130, V rotate 135, V2, 145. So the arrival, excuse me, the arrival runway in Zaragoza is looking like it's going to be ILS 30 right. Our final waypoint is Grouse, so Grouse to Victor arrival. Execute that. Okay, that's looking good. That's us all pretty much set up really, so we'll get the APU started and get ready for pushback and startup. Initially we will be climbing to 4,000 feet, runway heading 225 degrees via the Brookway 5 Romeo departure. So the flight for this morning, as I say, from London Stansted to Zaragoza Airport, we are looking at a flight time of about 1 hour and 50 minutes, cruising at an altitude, we're hoping up to 39,000 feet, we may even go higher than that, we'll see. And yeah, 748 miles to Zaragoza, and hopefully have you on the ground ahead of schedule. So we'll get the APU booted up. We're currently on the ground power at the moment, as you can see. You can hear the APU just starting up there. And Axel, hello, good morning. Right, that's the APU started. Now, if you look on the overhead, we have our APU power available, so we'll switch over to our APU power. We'll switch off the ground power unit as we no longer require that, so disconnect, wheel chocks can be removed. Now we'll go straight ahead for push and start, nose facing left, 90 degrees.
And ground cockpit.
Newcastle Flyer, very good morning.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Ready for push. Power and air clear, doors closed. We are ready for pushback. Please park brake, please.
Okay, right side's clear, left side's clear. Okay, push back. Got VRyanair just taxiing behind us.
Brakes off, here we go.
So starting engine number 2, engine 2 to 1. Fuel in. See the N1 is rising nicely, so I've got a good indication on that. Starting engine number 1.
Roger that, ready for push. Power and air clear, doors closed, we are ready for pushback. Please park brake, please.
Fuel in. Flightsim 101, very good morning to you also, thank you for joining the stream. And to anyone else who's watching, hello, good of you all to join. So we are ready pretty much for taxi in just a second. Flaps selected 5, we'll just see what's been posted. Okay, generators 1, generator 2, APU off, start switches continuous, taxi light, packs, auto, circ fans, auto. Okay, let's taxi runway 22. So the before takeoff checklist. Configuration checked, recall clear, flight controls checked, flaps 5 required, 5 selected, and we have a green light checked. Stabilizer trim 4.7 units required, 4.7 set. Takeoff briefing, departing 22, runway 5 Romeo departure, initially 4,000 feet, checked. Cabin is secure, behind the line. Does look like there's traffic going to make an approach for runway 04, so we'll try and get out. Cabin crew, seats for departure please. So behind the line, start switch is continuous, MCP set, transponder TARA, landing strobe lights are on, retracts are on, before takeoff checklist is complete. Lining up runway 22 via Sierra 1. Left is clear, approach is clear. As you can see on TCAS, we do have a little bit of traffic at 2,600, which I have no idea if that's VFR traffic or what, but okay, 40%. And power set. 80 knots checked.
V1, rotate. V2.
Positive rate, gear up. Speed check, flaps 2. Continue climb, flight level 350. Speed check, flaps 2. Correction, flaps 1. (6,000 feet), set standard, flaps up. Don't know what's going on with V-Pilot. V-Pilot cannot create the model for a Cessna 172. Okay. Yeah, Foxy Football, I was just wondering. Basically, V-Pilot has detected a Cessna, someone online is flying a Cessna 172, but it's trying to pick that aircraft using the aircraft that are available from my flight simulator, and it can't find a Cessna 172, and it can't replicate that model. So it's making that noise because every time it's trying to use another aircraft to replicate it, for some reason it won't allow it to replicate whichever one V-Pilot is choosing, so it's a bit of an odd one, that. (10,000 feet), landing lights are off, seatbelt signs are off. After takeoff checklist, air conditioning pressurization set, start switches off, landing gear up and off, checked, auto brake off, flaps up, no lights, checked, altimeters set to standard. And after takeoff checklist is complete. What happened to your first officer display? I disabled my first officer displays because it does improve your frames, so that's why they are off. What is your average landing rate for VRyanair? I don't know off the top of my head. It's not something I'm really interested in, but I shall have a look for you, so bear with me. I did just pass 1,000 hours with Virtual Ryanair last week, actually, so that's one milestone. So I've just had a look on the Virtual Ryanair website. My landing average is minus 214. Minus 214 is my average landing rate. Total flight time with Virtual Ryanair 1,023 hours 18 minutes. Total. Here's a good one for you. Total flights up until this flight that I've flown. Today, 737 flights. That's quite funny. You're more than welcome to fly as long as you know how to use Vatsim, really, and yeah, feel free to. How do you not get bored of FSX? Because there's so much to do on it, so don't get bored at all. Yeah, you could do, yeah, you could do. You have 7 flights, 13 hours, 878 and an average of 188 feet per minute. That's not too bad, not too bad. Mostly a 777 pilot on Vatsim. Interesting. Very interesting. I haven't flown the 777 for quite a while actually. I used to fly it for British Airways Virtual, primarily from Gatwick to Caribbean and the USA, loads of other destinations from Heathrow too. So yeah, it was good fun. Nice plane to fly. Are you coming back to Stansted after this flight? I am indeed, yes. So we'll go to Zaragoza, Zaragoza to Stansted, Stansted to Aalborg, and Aalborg back to Stansted. So that's the idea for this afternoon. I've never flown to Zaragoza with VRyanair, and I've never flown to Aalborg with VRyanair. So what I'm trying to do is to fly to every single airport that they fly in and out of, as I've said before. So once I've flown to these two, I can cross them off my list. So I think we'll continue our climb up to 39,000 feet. Norwegian do this route as well. Which route? The Stansted Zaragoza one? I don't think they do. or the Aalborg to the Aalborg Stansted route. I'll just have a look. I'm not entirely sure if they do. Let me see. Ryanair. No, they don't. They operate. Let me see. Ryanair, Aalborg. Norwegian flies from London Gatwick to Aalborg, but Ryanair does the Stansted flight. So both effectively serve London, granted, but yeah. The second one, alright, yeah. Very good, very good. Saw a trip report, 747 freight parked on the terminal in Stansted. Yeah, there's cargo 747s that use Stansted every day, Atlas Air, Cargo Lux, all sorts. So it's quite common to see at Stansted. Yes, they do have cargo parking at Stansted, yes they do. Captain Alex, good morning. You're also on Vatsim crossing the channel. Fantastic. Whereabouts are you off to exactly? Nicky Luke Ross, good morning to you, mate. Just got in, logged on. Coffee and sausage sandwich. That sounds lovely. Do I have a departure time for the Stansted to Aalborg flight? I don't. I'll be honest, Foxy Football, I completely forgot that I need to go out later on, so I might have to cancel that flight. So I'll let you know, but I may have to cancel it, but we'll see how it goes. Starting your descent into Dublin very shortly. Very nice, excellent. Have a good landing. Top of your head, TNT, UPS, panel. Yeah, basically, mate. TNT, it's 767s and A300s primarily, not 74s. TNT, not so much. The Panel Pina one is actually Atlas Air and Cargolux. So yeah, there's those. And the occasional odd charter, Etihad Cargo flies from there too, and Emirates on the odd occasion. So yeah, there's a few different ones. So folks, just a quick mid-flight update. We are cruising at an altitude of 39,000 feet. The outside air temperature is minus 45 Celsius. Doing a nice ground speed of 446 at the present time. Looking to land at Zaragoza in 52 minutes time. So that will put us well ahead of schedule. That'll put us in the region of 36 minutes ahead of schedule, which is good. So yeah, landing in 52 minutes, 361 miles to go, and the weather in Zaragoza is looking quite nice at the moment. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. sorry, I've just missed a few comments. Hello, flying into Stansted just now, would be on Vatsim, Wi-Fi is bad. Oh, very good, excellent. You don't know how to do background music to your videos on YouTube. You have to put up with annoying people. That's the easiest way to do it, mate. And it's quite simple. Upload your video to YouTube. Once you've done that, go into your video manager, edit the video, and in the edit page you can add audio. You can remove the original audio, i.e. those that were causing a disturbance on the plane. You can do all that, and YouTube gives you custom free music with no copyright attached that you can use with your video. So try that, upload it onto YouTube, and then try and overlay the audio if it's that bad, or if it's durable, then just leave it on. It's yeah. It's not that bad, just one of the lads annoying. Yeah, well, it should be alright, mate. I'm gonna say if you use Windows Movie Maker, it's quite easy, but not sure. Yeah, on the phone, it's not as easy. That's fine, mate. That's fine. No, a little bit more this way. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, try YouTube Editor, mate. It's really good. Love the final runway to Stansted. Same. It's even more fun if you go onto a 6-mile final at 2,000 feet and make a quick turn in at 2,000 feet. It's a great approach. Really, really good. So I'm just examining whether or not it's possible to use runway 12 left at Zaragoza, so I'm just having a look at that. Oh, you do. There's loads and loads of freeware music nowadays that you can use, which is it's good. minus 500 as a landing rate is not good, no. Hello from Shannon's Spotters area. Hello Oliver, good afternoon mate. Have you seen the P3 Orion whilst you've been in Shannon? Because I did see, before I went to bed last night, the P3 Orion came in off the coast, so hopefully you've managed to see that. Let's see, the landing rate. Yeah, the landing rate's bad, so very bad. You'll be here in 48 hours over the Pyrenees. Very nice indeed, very nice. Soon, hello. Mate, it was a good first landing. Oh well. Yeah, presumably you hadn't either armed the approach button or you didn't have the right frequency in. One of the two. Yeah, looking at it now, the plane decided it didn't want you. Oh, there's a DC-10 parked up. Very nice. Yeah, fire striking. No disrespect, but the K-Cars system by Ryanair doesn't lie. So the average that you want to have, 500, is almost, but not quite, severe damage to your landing gear strut. So you do not want that to happen. If you want, you probably want an optimum of about 160 to about 300 as your max. At 300 you would really feel it. On touchdown 500 is pretty much no flare, it's just bang, like that. So it's only just within the boundaries of acceptance, but again, it's virtual, so you know, you've got to tread carefully with it. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you've got 2 red, 2 white, forget your poppies. What you need to be focused on is the flare. And this is what does my head in sometimes, because people go on about, oh, the approach was perfect, you know, we had 2 reds, 2 whites, it was beautiful, clear day, not a breeze, you know, not a bit of wind or anything. And it's like, yeah, but you just slammed the plane down. So you sort of defeated the entire object of having a good landing. So, you know, the landing is what counts. Do UK airports switch off the runway lights when no traffic due? Yeah, it's standard. It's standard in Europe, mate. It's, you know, Frankfurt airport, all the airports do it. So, at Frankfurt, when I was there, when they switched from 25 left to 25 right, there was about half an hour to 45 minutes when they weren't using it. And probably wasn't as long as that actually, but they had the runway lights off, and they do exactly the same at Newcastle. If there's no traffic inbound for it's about 20 to 25 minutes, anything coming in or anything going out, then they'll be turned off. So yeah, I've seen it happen loads and loads and loads and loads of times. Newcastle, Malta, Edinburgh, Frankfurt. The only ones I've never seen it happen, and this is probably because you have a higher volume of traffic, is London. Yep, they do Newcastle fly, yep. And believe you me, I've spent enough days stood at airports on dark, gloomy, wet, windy days to know that they switch them off. It's funny actually, because the bridle path at the end of the runway at Newcastle, excuse me one sec. Yeah, sorry, as I was saying, the bridle path there, it's quite nice when the runway lights are on, when runway 07 is in use, because the lights actually give off a little bit of heat. So on a cold day it's actually quite nice when they come on. But when they turn them off, when there's no traffic inbound, you notice the difference. But yeah. Yeah, you can attribute it to loads of different things: descent rate, approach, conditions, whatever. But no matter what the conditions, you've still got to just nail it, so you give yourself ample opportunity to give yourself a nice flare. Excuse me, a nice flare and touchdown. If you don't, you can get a bit panicky and let's just plonk it down on the ground, you know. But the idea is just, you know, do it properly at the end of the day. Spend most of your life drenched at thresholds, yes. And I'll be doing that from tomorrow afternoon and Monday all day as well. So I'll have plenty of footage to come out from tomorrow and Monday, when I'll be spotting hopefully. So yeah. Are you going to see me take off at 9:35 on Monday? No, because I'm not spotting at Newcastle. No, I'll be up in Scotland from tomorrow. What you normally do is start to flare just before I get over the threshold guarantees. Yeah, whole variety of ways of doing it. Whole variety. Had an issue with FSX when you spawn up your aircraft. Everything is on, the throttle automatically goes up. How to fix it? No idea. I shall do. The weather isn't looking great, mind, so we'll see how that goes. Cabin crew, 10 minutes to landing. Is OPUS free? No, it's not, no. Didn't you say last year you were planning a spot and tour of Ireland? I did, yes, but unfortunately, mate, finances dictate, and after being involved in an accident that was not my fault, that was all knocked on the head, because the person in question, who was responsible and admitted responsibility, left this country, wasn't originally from this country, and because the vehicle he used was a leased vehicle, they basically said that it was his responsibility. So despite dashcam evidence and despite a whole range of different factors, they basically said it was not their responsibility, which left me out of pocket. And yeah, that sort of knocked, to be honest, I was planning on getting the ferry across from Stranraer, as I'd already said, to Belfast, and then go around the rest of Ireland, and I was going to be doing that at the end of September and visit my uncle whilst I was over there, but unfortunately that had to be knocked on the head. Okay, that's us fully established. ILS 30 right. It is ridiculous, mate, and what's even more ridiculous is I had 6 witnesses, all who said exactly the same, and 2 of them had dashcam evidence, etc. And the guy stood there completely, you know, if you were stood there, you would have said he was genuinely sorry. And he gave me his phone number. I put his phone number into my phone, and I rang it whilst I was there, and it popped up on his screen that it was me ringing him, so I knew it was his number, and tried contacting him in the days and weeks ahead. Tried getting in contact with the insurance company that he'd provide me with, and it all ended up in absolutely nothing. And he went back to his country, which is within the EU, and it was as simple as that, really. So yeah, one of those situations, unfortunately, where I looked at it, and if as a young driver, despite almost 3 years no claims, because of my age, had I put it through on my insurance, despite it being his responsibility, and his insurer would take no responsibility for it, saying it was his problem and it was a leased vehicle, it would have put my insurance way up. So in the end, I looked at the option was put it through the insurance, who would then write the vehicle off, or try and get the work done myself. And when I had a look and got the garage to check, the chassis was intact, so all it needed was a new front wing, a new door on the left, and a new rear left door. So got that all sorted, and the car was up and running again. But you know, it puts you out of pocket, and it's just one of those things. It's a pain though, especially when it's not your fault and you've got all the evidence to show that, you know. And when that person themselves comes out and openly admits it was their fault, it's like, adds insult to injury. Once had a guy smash into you at a junction when I had the right of way. Good thing is that he smashed into my rear wheel, causing more damage to his car than mine. Yeah, it would do at that. It certainly would. That was the ironic part about it. The van he was driving, this Sprinter, he was sitting on the left-hand side of the vehicle, and obviously we drive on the left-hand side of the road, and he's driving on the left side of the road, on the left-hand side of the vehicle. He never checked his mirrors. So when I went to overtake, I overtook one car, 2 cars in fact actually, on this particular straight, which I know very well and use quite often. There was a tractor. The traffic altogether was doing about 25 miles an hour. So I put it up to 60 in cruise control, overtook, indicated, passed the 2 cars, no problem. He never checked his mirrors, pulled straight out and pushed me off the road. So yeah, that's that's what happened. But crazy world. Just makes you 10 times more cautious when you're driving though. It's scary. Okie doke, so we're on final now. This is, as I say, this is my first time landing at Zaragoza, so looks very nice so far. Okay, wheels down, gear down. Cabin crew, seats for landing. Well, you see, that's the ironic part. The police weren't involved, no. So, because of what happened and everything, and because I had so many people there at the time, all of whom I've got statements from, I've got footage from, pictures, etc, 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 I didn't feel it necessary. And by the time I did, which was at the end of it, it was too late, because by by their coordination with the insurance company, they basically said that he would only be he would only be responsible had he been here, which to me was like, he's left the country, got away without a hefty bill, and yet you're saying that he's responsible. So, you know, it's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Left us very frustrated. Okay, less negative and let's land. This is all freeware scenery too. Looks quite nice. Now you'll see I'm taking a little bit of a lower approach, and the reason is I want to try and get off the runway as soon as possible. So just the terminals, whoops, on our right. There we go, just where I wanted. Alpha 4. Hey hey. And that's what I call a short landing. So, welcome to Zaragoza, where we've arrived 34 minutes ahead of schedule. Yeah, well, here's the irony, Newcastle flyer. If the not Newcastle, Oliver. If the van was leased and damaged, would they not charge it to his credit card? When he returned the van, the only thing that was damaged on the van was a trail light on the rear right-hand side of the van, just near where the oh, what you call it? You've got like a board that goes across. In this particular one, it was metal, where the number plate was on. And all he needed to replace on the van was the rear light on the right hand side, which evidently he had done. So when he took it back to the insurance company, didn't say a thing about it, and basically took it back intact, because the way the van caught the end of my car, it caused literally no damage to the van at all, only my car. And in the photos you can see that, just he's got one little light hanging off, and I had all the damage to my vehicle. So when he returned it and got his deposit back, then basically he made no report of the fact that he just pushed another road user off the carriageway, and it was his fault. And it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Louis Barley, that's what I call a good centre line. Thank you very much. We try our best at Ryanair. And we got off the runway quickly, so yeah, saves time. Some dodo forgot to put the APU on. That was me. Taxi light off. Just going to get the ground power on instead. That'll save us getting the APU on. Ground power. Ground power on. Engine shut down 2 and 1. TCAS is off. 109.95. Well, that was quite a nice flight to Zaragoza. Never flown here before, but nice approach, nice scenery, all free as well. This scenery's all freeware too, so yeah, quite nice. I think X-Plane 11's the most realistic game. FSX isn't old. No, FSX has still got years and years of life left in it. If you want to know what old is, then I suggest you try Flight Simulator 98. Okay, VRyanair. File pirate. Fuel 9,111. Payload quite heavy going back, 61.7. 70.8. Yep, another one ticked off the list, exactly, mate. And we'll tick another one off the list when we fly to Denmark later on as well, which will be good. I'll just edit the route for you guys so you can see where we're going to next.
Your seat has been allocated for you to comply with the weight and safety of the aircraft. Please place all of your cabin bags underneath the seat in front of you, with the exception of passengers occupying emergency rows, which are 16 and 17, 1 ABC and 2 DEF.
Yeah, exactly, Oliver, exactly. Sister once accidentally smashed her rental van door into a wall. They charged her just for that. Charged for a car smash up Derby. I know, that's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. I think the irony of the system is that it's the genuine drivers who, you know, drive safely, abide by the law, and so on. They're the ones that are penalised, and yet other ones who couldn't care less and don't drive to a proper or safe degree just get away with anything. It's very unfair, but part of the system we live in, unfortunately. Right, we'll just get the flight plan loaded. Just put the company route into the folder. We made some really good flight time on that flight. 1 hour, 51 minutes to do that flight. That was pretty good time, that. And Gregory, hello, welcome to the stream.
aircraft doors now being closed, we kindly ask you to place all electrical items into in-flight mode. If your device does not have an in-flight mode, please switch the device off for the duration of the flight. Thank you.
So the surface wind here is 310 degrees, 19 knots. Okay folks, so that's us pretty much set up for the flight back to Stansted. Just give you all a quick flight briefing. So welcome aboard this Ryanair flight, Ryanair 2 November Mike, from here in Zaragoza to London Stansted. This afternoon's flight time approximately 2 hours, cruising at an altitude of 38,000 feet. We'll be taking off out of Zaragoza here, heading toward the north-west, before continuing up through France, across the English Channel and then down into Stansted. As I say, flight time about 2 hours. We ask please that you pay careful attention to the safety demonstration as is about to be demonstrated to you by our cabin crew. This is for your safety and the safety of all those around you. Thank you, and we'll give you an in-flight update once we're at our cruising altitude. So sit back, relax and enjoy the flight. €600. Phew. I tell you what, I would dream to have insurance at €600, Oliver. Up here, well, across here for the past 2.5, 3 years now, the year on year it's been triple that, and that's with no points, nothing like that. So yeah, Infinite Flight, hello. JoshBosh.uk, good afternoon or good morning, wherever in the world you may be, mate. Welcome, all the same. Just going to do a quick weather update. You went to bed at 5 PM yesterday and awoke 35 minutes ago. That's not too bad. So we'll be pushing back in 7 minutes time, folks. I am going to go and get myself a sandwich, so I'll be right back. I'll just put a little note on just in case anyone joins and wonders why is he not talking. Push back at okay, folks, I'm going to get something to eat. I'll be right back. Right folks, I'm back. Hello everyone. I'm just going to get the APU started and we'll get underway. Switch to APU power, ground power off, wheel chocks removed, anti-collision light on, and starting engine number 2. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Starting engine number 1. Okay, ready to taxi. lining up on runway 30 right. Be 1 second, folks, just need to quickly do one thing. Be 1 second, folks. Okay, so we have terrain right ahead of us, so let's go. Just someone he's commented on a couple of different times, and it's just there's no kind of rhyme or reason for it. Oh well, you're the one that gave us the time. Oh, you're the one that did this. I'm not prepared to argue it out. At the end of the day, the time's there as a guideline. It's not there as a set, you know. It's not there as a set thing. So if you want to make, if he wants to make a petty little issue out of that, then you know he can go and watch another stream or do a stream himself. Quite honestly. Anyway, putting that behind, let's take off. Just restraining a disruptive passenger. Exactly, mate. And there's only one place for disruptive passengers, and that's on the other side of the door. Exactly. Real life flights rarely leave on time, you know, it's a fact. But you know, when you're doing it because you enjoy doing something, and then you put a note saying I'll be back at hopefully roughly that time, you know, and then someone takes that as if, you know, it's the Mosaic law that you've got to follow that. That's the guideline you've got to go. Then, you know, it's like, come on, be serious. We're all human at the end of the day. Anyway, 240, let's climb. Will you be able to fly in real life? I'd love to, but it's all time, isn't it? You know, it's time and lots of other factors as well. It would be nice to, though. It would be nice. The person that commented, what a takeoff, thank you. It wasn't quite a good view that actually on takeoff. I just thought I'd try an outside view. Okay, direct to Papa November. Right, all the way up to 38,000 feet we go. Well, I'll say this much, I've heard a lot of tall tales in my time, but one thing I have learned over the past year and a half is that 9 times out of 10, typically, duplicate accounts which are using more than one channel, upon being blocked, as was the previous, are very swift at using secondary accounts. And that just seems a little bit too soon for my liking, so I'm sorry, but I'm not allowing that on this channel, so sorry. I'm afraid some things are just too coincidental, and they were both duplicate accounts, both with no thumbnail, and yet one has randomly 20 subscribers with no content, and then suddenly one gets banned from the channel, and then suddenly comes on claiming it's his brother. I mean, it's silly. It's really, really silly. Kids, unfortunately. but hey ho. There we go. Anyway, that's even it up. You have 2 channels and you don't even know how. Yeah, Nicky, Luke, Ross. The difference is, mate, is with the likes of your channel, right? I can associate that very quickly to your Twitter account. Okay, I can associate that with, you know, a whole variety of different things. You've got content to back you up as well. You know what I mean? Difference being, when you get someone like that with no content, 2 usernames at the end which are both the same, one account gets blocked and then within 39 seconds is back on again using another account. Now, I know how long it takes to get from my room to my brother's room. I also know how long it would take me to go and tell my brother about something. I also know how long it would take me to walk, put on his device, log into his account potentially, and go and watch that live stream and subsequently comment on it. And it doesn't take 39 seconds to do all that. It takes quite a lot longer. And it's I just think it's very, very silly. Very silly. I don't like it when it's you know, deceptive like that. It's not good. It's not good. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. First, I was actually whose was it? Might have been yours. I was watching yesterday or something. I watched one of your live streams. It was very good. Keep it up. Keep going. I am my own brother, hello. Had subscribers, but sort of challenges are embarrassing, so I'd delete them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've all had something like that at some point, you know. Yeah, 51 subs, not 51 yet. Had YouTube channel #1, but when I joined Chrome, set up a new one, never knew. Yeah, that happened when I used to be with AOL, because I had one when we used to be with AOL, and then obviously I switched browsers and obviously we switched internet providers and so on, so there was no necessity to use that, and in doing so I created a new one, which is this one. So yeah, ones like that you can sort of understand, because you know, you're not just going out of your way to purposely create duplicate channels for the sake of doing it, you know what I mean? But aye, good fun. Yeah, exactly. Once you get maybe a better, you know, much better speed and so on, then you know, hopefully it'll improve things. You know, see how it goes. Yeah, SimBrief is great for generating flight plans. It's really, really good. Nick's added music, good old YouTube, thanks. Oh, no problem, mate, no problem. I look forward to seeing that video once you've got it uploaded, mate. That'll be great. As I say, it's amazing with YouTube because you can add your own, you know, their own music that they provide and so on. But it's great. It's really, really good. Oh, it's up. I'll have a look at it then. When you take parasite mileage, start feel 41. I don't tell you, you should run with the heating on at 30. You'll have this virus, Josh, that's been going around. It's crazy, like it's absolutely crazy. Even with the heating on, it's absolutely freezing. It's crazy. Yeah, I'll just have a look at that, Nicky Lacrosse. I'll just have a look, mate. Let's see. I like the thumbnail for the hard landing one. Let's have a look. I think this troll that keeps creating these new accounts is making a few rookie errors when it comes to trolling, and I think his response there just proved it, so yeah. Oh dear, these trolls make me laugh. Yeah, I just watched your KLM one. The landing was interesting. Actually, let's just see. Ollie, hello. How long have you been flying? Well, we've been flying for quite a while, so yeah. Yeah, in 2015, that's right. Yeah, he flew the Fokker 70, so yeah, quite interesting. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Something novel. I don't think you would find that in this country. I don't think Her Majesty would be at our disposal for flying shuttle flights between Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Heathrow. But who knows? Maybe one day. Yeah, it is. The Fokker 70's dead and gone, unfortunately. It's one of my favourite planes to see. Same. I'll send you a video actually, Ollie. You might like this. When I was in Malta last year, and I go to Malta pretty much every year, and whilst I was there was a summit, and they came with the Dutch government Fokker 70, and the sound of it departing was just amazing. And I'll just try and find the video I got of it actually, and send it to you. Ah, here we are. Share, copy link. Here we are. Charles has crashed a plane, has he? Oh. Yeah, that link is the Dutch government Fokker 70 at B146. Yeah, it was a great plane. It was a really, really good plane, but sadly it's no more. Sadly. Scottish Air Show, no. The Scottish Air Show is a good 2 hours 45 from my house, and to be honest, the traffic that they get at Prestwick, it's exactly the same pretty much as what we have at Newcastle, so there is no need to come across, to be honest. Yeah, see you later, Ollie. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Google Prince Charles will come up with an independent article. Ah, I'm gonna have a look at this. Let's have a look. If I get any references to the Daily Mail though, then you know that's it. Kaput. End of story. Well, I never even realised that it happened. 1994, Zulu Echo 700. That is brilliant. Absolutely class. Thanks for that, Josh. I never even realised that it happened. That all explains why they delegated the flying to. That explains. that is brilliant. That explains why it's all handed to the RAF now. Were you ever on a Sukhoi Superjet? I've never been on a Sukhoi Superjet, would love to, but haven't been on one yet, no. Oh, it is, it's a great plane, absolutely great. You were on it last year with CityJet from Dublin. Alright, very nice. Going to Japan next year with the Airsha Fiddle Orchestra. Very nice indeed. Dutch Fokker 70 backseats must be noisy. Actually, to be honest, Nicky, I'd a couple of mates of mine have flown on it and sat right next to the engines, and they reckon it was quieter there than it was up front. So apparently very well insulated. So yeah. So we've got 344 miles till top of descent. Just want to get... I'm just reading into that BE-146 crash. The aircraft overran on landing at Isla. Its nose undercarriage failed and broke away on the rough ground just beyond the end of the runway. It reported the aircraft touched down on its nose wheel some 1,500 feet down the runway, travelling 32 knots too fast with a 12-knot tailwind component. The wheel brakes were then applied before the full activation of the anti-skid protection systems, causing both inboard main tyres to lock and the subsequent failure of the tyres. There were no reported injuries. It is understood the pilot handling the aircraft at the time of the accident was His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, who was attending a series of engagements in the Hebridean Islands. The flight had come from Aberdeen, runway 1331 at Isla, is 1,545 metres long. Landing distance 1,245 metres. The runway has a tarmac surface. It is reported that the Board of Inquiry found the captain negligent in that he failed to intervene when the aircraft performance and limitations were exceeded in the final stages of the flight. The navigator was also apparently found negligent for failing to advise the captain of the tailwind component and to draw his attention to the inaccurate approach parameters. Says a lot, really. Says an awful lot. Dude, speak to His Royal Majesty the King. He knows how to fly this aircraft. Yep. Kaboom. Actually, I'm just going to change the map a sec, folks. Just going to zoom in and out. So, as you can see, so that's where we are anyway. Charlie was not the captain. Let's see. What it does say in the report, Josh, this is what I'm reading, the report I have just given you. It says that it is understood that the pilot handling the aircraft at the time of the accident was the Prince of Wales. So I don't know whether you want to read that or, but that's what it says in there. You could try Stansted to Dinard in the north of France. Yeah, pretty much. That's the way I've read it. So yeah. Newcastle, yeah, there's a suggestion. Flight at Newcastle. We're always welcome. You're always welcome in the north. Even more welcome when you go. Let's see. Google Chrome. Just need to get some charts for Stansted. So it's a Laurel for Charlie arrival. Okay, that's the arrival all programmed. FS Pilot, hello, welcome to the stream. Good of you to join. What's the iCal for that place? Lima Foxtrot Romeo Delta. Yeah, I know how appropriate. Don't land on your nose wheel. I just read that, and you couldn't make it up, could you? You know, landing on your nose wheel. I mean, and especially at a place like Isla as well. Absolutely crazy. Doing great. Good of you to join FS Pilots. How's the streams and everything going, and so on? I did actually see one of your streams not long ago. I think it was the Bristol Cork one or something like that. But yeah, how's it all going? Right, just going to get ready for the next flight, which will be to Aalborg. Any ATC? Nope, no ATC. is VPilot on your laptop? No, I don't have two monitors. I've got VPilot running in the background. Have a nice afternoon. Just landed at Belfast City. Really nice approach. Yeah, it is very nice. Out of interest, Gregory, do you have the new AirSim Belfast City scenery? Because that is amazing. Really, really good scenery. But thank you very much for watching, no mate. Thank you. So that's the flight plan filed for the next flight. Are you going to Aalborg in the next one? Yes, that's our next flight. Yes, very good. Thank you, Infinite Flight. Very good. And yourself? It's quite an interesting view. Excellent, very good. Oh, there's the nose wheel. The Ryanair seats, yep. There's plenty of them. Royal landing gear. Yeah, shall we try one of those landings as showed by His Royal Highness? And shall we try it on the nose wheel this time? See how far we get? Right, let's get some RLS information for Stansted. ILS runway 22. So the frequency 110.50. The minimums are 433. And the QNH. QNH 1009, and it's raining at the moment in Stansted, so We left and it was nice, bright and clear, and now it's raining. Okay, 1009. There we go. Threshold, elevation, 348. Right guys, I'm really sorry, something's come up. I am going to have to very quickly head off, so I'm going to have to end the stream quite early. Thank you all to everyone who's watched. I might stream again this evening. I'm really sorry, I do have to really quickly nip out, and I'll speak to you all very shortly. Once again, apologies for this, I hadn't expected to go out so soon. I'll speak to you all later on. Thank you.